Mike, how close are you to saying that Jalen Hurts is the future for the Eagles?
I'm very close, and for a lot of different reasons. And because yesterday, that was just a smooth performance by Jalen Hurts, and it was effortless. I thought he did all the right things in all the right key moments at the game, other than win the game. He didn't turn it over, and I certainly felt like he positioned himself. And when you look at a guy, like Jalen Hurts and his skill set and what he brings to the table, you automatically start thinking about the future, building around him, and how the offense can potentially progress and what you can do in it. And I know if I'm thinking that way, Doug Peterson has to be thinking the same. And, this situation just reminds me of Dak Prescott and Tony Romo all over again for all the right reasons. And it's about progression. It's about, getting better. It's about the team, ultimately. And you can't win if you don't have the right guy behind center. Not to say that Carson wasn't the right guy. It was just, it started to look like the paint was just running a little dry on the wall. And, for Philadelphia Eagles fans, they probably feel like they need something new. I know that's the way they feel. And they don't give you too much time out there. And, when there's some new blood like Jalen, a guy who looks like you can build around him, why not go for it? So I think now is a telltale sign, for Doug Peterson and the organization getting a good look at Jalen so they can make a decision. The Oakland Raiders at the time, they did the same thing. They drafted Derek Carr in the second round, and they moved forward with it. He was Matt Schaub's predecessor at the time. So, this is not anything new. It's not nothing we never seen before. It's just the right decision at the right time being made, and it's an accurate decision. So I like what Jalen Hurts did yesterday, and I think you can just build and improve on that.
It's only 2 games, but I'm going to go back to what you said about the Cowboys and Tony Romo situation. Romo got hurt. There's no way, no matter how bad Tony Romo would have played, would Jerry Jones have allowed Dak Prescott to get in that starting lineup, Skip. If Tony Romo was healthy, he lost.
Just on pure performance?
Just on pure performance.
Right.
But for me, it's only 2 games, Mike. Now, I'm going to need to see him play, build upon what he's did, because those 2 games he's played phenomenal. He beat New Orleans, who didn't show up defensively 2 weeks ago, but showed up yesterday, and they took a Herculean effort by Mahomes in order to win the game. And then, even though he was battered, he still found a way yesterday, sacked 6 times. He still made plays with his arms. He still made plays with his legs. So I'm going to see more of that. The Eagles, Skip, they would be upside down. And if you ever owned a car or home, Skip, you know what that means. You owe more than what it's worth. Yeah. You owe Carson Wentz. Skip, he's due over the next 3 years, $99.5 million. If you cut him, it's $60 million in dead money. You're going to have to make a decision because, Skip, I think by the 3rd day of the new year, you have to make a decision on it because his 2022 salary becomes guaranteed. 2021 will already be guaranteed.
Yep.
So you're going to have to make a decision here fairly quickly. Yep. This is not something where we're going to put the job up in training camp and make the best man win, because at that point in time, you will have to start him because there's no way in hell you're going to have a $33 million quarterback holding a clipboard. So they're going to have to make a decision, and Jalen Hurts can make that decision as easy or as difficult as he'd like over the next 2 games.
Yep. Both against division opponents.
Correct.
At Dallas and then Washington at home.
Because that's what you want to see him play with, because that was the team he have to beat for the next several years. So definitely we want to see him graded.
I would like to hark back to a word that Michael Vick used, which is the operative word when it comes to Jalen Hurts, who I watched very closely in every snap that he took at the University of Oklahoma a year ago. That word is effortless. I've tried to tell Shannon, Michael, that Jalen doesn't look like he's moving that fast because he doesn't look like he's trying that hard to be quick or fast. And I'm not saying he's the Michael Vick experience in Atlanta, but I'm just saying he gets past people, he gets around people, and sometimes he gets through people with sort of effortless poise. He does not turn the football over. He threw 32 touchdown passes for Lincoln Riley last year at Oklahoma, which told me he can throw it. He has learned to throw it much better than he threw it for Lane Kiffin at Alabama. He also scored 20 touchdowns a year ago at Oklahoma with his legs. And we saw in the first 2 games that he's played in pro football, his legs can get him out of trouble. Shannon always says, well, they can get you into trouble too, and maybe he's going to have to learn that.
Yes.
But so far, so great. And I want to stress the degree of difficulty that he got baptized with in this league, because he got thrown into the fire against a New Orleans defense a week ago that was the hottest defense in pro football. And he lived to tell about it. He shredded it. He didn't get sacked one time in that game, and he didn't turn it over one time, and they won. And everybody played better everywhere on both sides of the ball. The defense played better. His receivers caught better. His running back, Miles Sanders, ran better. It's because of his natural-born leadership that everybody raises their level around him. Saw it at Oklahoma. I think we saw it at Alabama. Then yesterday, he gets thrown into another fire against a red-hot Arizona defense that had terrorized Daniel Jones and, to a certain degree, Colt McCoy a week ago at Giants. And he got sacked 6 times, and he just kept jumping right back up and saying, next, and next. And he kept making plays because that's what he does. He's a natural-born leader and playmaker. And, again, I'm going to go back to what I tweeted the day they drafted him, which shocked me. Mix my emotions because I've never liked the Eagles, but all of a sudden I love Jalen Hurts and I still don't like the Eagles. But the point is, I tweeted, he will be better than Carson Wentz. I'm not saying he's more talented because he's not. He doesn't have a better arm than Carson. He doesn't have 6'5". Carson can run through brick walls occasionally, but he just has a knack for guiding, leading, and playmaking that will make him a better bet at quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Mike, I think you can attest to this, but when we look at quarterbacks, the thing is that their legs can get them out of harm's way, and I say this a lot, but their legs also runs them into problems. We all look at guys and we think of mobile quarterbacks. Mike, you got sacked a lot. As a matter of fact, Randall Cunningham had the record for the most sack until David Carr broke the record. Steve McNair, Kyler, Deshaun, Russell Wilson. Their legs get them out of harm's way. Let them make plays on the edge, but sometimes it runs them into the sack where you're getting away on the front side, you're running into something on the back side.
Or they think they can escape, and then they can't.
Run right into it.
Yeah.
Mahomes, that's how he got sacked for 30 yards, because he's like, I'm going to get up out of here. No. I'm just going to retreat back, and the guy swiped his leg and got him.
Go, Michael.
So, with experience, with experience that, you learn the host of that and when to run and when not to run it. And the more, he's in the pocket and the presence is there, the more feel for the game he can get, the better he'll become. So, I'm not worried about that with Jalen Hurts. That's OTAs, mini camp, training camp, all that'll come with repetition. So with Jalen Hurts, I think Skip just hit it on the head. It's a lot of upside right there. But let me just shift gears to Carson Wentz real quick. I mean, Carson's going to land on his feet regardless of how this plays out. I know it's a lot of dead money. I know they got to stick with him, if it all boils down to it. But, when a bunch of competent people get in the room or jump on the phone, trades can be made and things can happen. And imagine Carson Wentz in a situation with a guy like Kyle Shanahan or some of the top offensive gurus in the game. That revitalizes his career and bring him back so it's not over by any stretch. That's more the reason why I say you can move forward with Jalen Hurts. It's just a new look for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.